Yo, yo, what's up? You are back with Underground Hip Hop Blog, the biggest underground hip hop blog in the world. I am Drea, and with us today we have the legendary king of the underground. We have Rome Streetz. Dude,
Hey,
how are you feeling?
What's up? I feel great.
Good. You've been back and forth. I feel like you're the busiest person that I've seen, like, working right now. You're between New York, you're here, you're doing music videos, you're doing concerts, you're doing shows. How you been? Keeping busy?
I'm good. You know, this is what I signed up for. So you know, I'm not mad at it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
You came out with not one, two, or three. You came out with 4 albums this year. You've been keeping super busy, all full-length projects. How do you find the energy? How do you find the time to keep it going?
I always say like, rapping is the easy part of this shit. Rapping is like the easiest part of this. So, and I go through like little spurts of creativity. So put it like this: there's like 52 weeks in a year, right? Let's say I dropped like 4 tapes this year. 2 of them was made last year. I would say like, and the other one, Razor's Edge, like half of that was made like last year. So like I get these spurts of creativity where it's just like 1 week I'll just wake up and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just cook up this week, and then like I just make shit every day, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I record at the house, so it's like I just make, even if I make like 2 songs every day for a week, that's like 14 songs. So I could make a whole album or, you know what I mean, a project in a week if I really just lock in, or 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And then there's 52 weeks in a year, so I could really, you know what I mean? It's nothing to really just bang out the music. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love to do.
Yeah, but you have so much continuity. I feel like in these past couple years, you've been coming out with like album after album after album. And I mean, despite having like, you know, these creative bursts and having, you know, those 52 weeks, how do you manage to stay on top of it? Like, what do you do when you're not having your best week, you get lazy? Like, what do you do to get those creative juices up and running again?
I just take time to absorb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I do regular life things. I just, you know, explore. I travel. You know what I'm saying? I just try to intake new information, try to see new things, and then, you know, it just sparks creativity. And then, you know, like, because now I have like I would say like a new platform to display my shit in front of, I'm always inspired. You know what I'm saying? Now I know I have a larger audience. Now I know my music is making like a larger impact. So, you know, it just makes me want to do more.
Absolutely.
I know it's reaching, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally can't go nowhere without people running up on me like, oh shit, it's Rome Streetz. You know what I'm saying? So that shit is cool.
Yeah, when did you first start to notice that? Like, how long into the game were you before people started coming up to you and be like, oh shit, it's Rome
I would
Streetz?
say, like, I'm gonna be honest, the first time it really started happening was, I would say, probably like 2 years ago, like 2019. It was like the first time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd go places and people be like, oh shit, Rome Streetz. I'd be like, oh shit, they know who I am? You know what I mean? So it's cool. Like, now, like, I was just at Complex Con and people were just like running up on me. Like, the funniest thing was like this security guard, you know, he's supposed to be working and shit. And he's like, oh shit, yo, are you Rome Streetz? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, I fuck with your music. And like, at this time, you know, he's supposed to be doing security. So somebody walked up to him like, yo, they asked him a question like, yo, how can I find? He's like, yo, man, I don't know. Yo, this is Rome Streetz right here. I'm like, oh shit. He said, fuck work. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool,
God.
you know, I enjoy it. That mean, like, you know, I'm really making an impact out here.
Yeah, are you adjusting to that well? Do you think you're more of like a people person? Are you more shy with that? How do you feel?
I'm adjusting to it because, you know, I always been like a people person, you know what I'm saying? Like, always been somebody that can interact with people. I never really been too shy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get standoffish depending on, you know, where I'm at. But, you know, I don't have to live like that no more. So, you know, I'm cool.
That's true. So,
Cool.
like you said, you do so much traveling. You're just bouncing back and forth all the time. I'm wondering, do you ever spend any time like writing while you're in the air, while you're flying, while you're in the car? Where do you spend most of your time writing?
I write in my phone, so really, like, the shop is open 24 hours. Like right now, if I think of some cool shit to say, like a cool line or some shit, like, I'll write it down, like, right now. You know what I'm saying? In my phone. So it's like there's anywhere it hits me, if it's good enough for me to jot down, then, you know, it gets jotted. So I take the shit anywhere. As long as I got the phone with me, I'm cooking up something. So.
Have you always written on your phone? Did you start off like with a pen and notepad?
Yeah.
And all that?
I used to write in a pen and a pad, but you know what really got me into writing in like the Sidekick phone.
The Sidekick phone.
Yeah,
Oh
hell
my
yeah.
god. Oh my god, what was that? That was like
That was
2009.
yeah, even before that.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like 2009, 2008,
Yeah.
the Sidekick LX. What?
Dude.
That was the shit. That's what got me writing rhymes in like mobile. You know what I'm saying? Like in my phone and shit. And then once I got an iPhone, it was a wrap. I just felt like I loved the phone better because, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't have a pen and a pad on me, I can't write nothing. And, you know, I'm not walking around with the pen and the pad all day. Like, that shit is a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's too much steps to just complete writing down a sentence. You know what I'm saying? The phone is like, it just take me fucking 2 seconds. But writing down, it's like, that's a lot of applications right there. So.
Yo, but the Sidekick though, like you had to mean everything you type because it was so goddamn hard to get those tiny buttons and you had to press. That's hilarious. Yep. So like you edit your songs on phones too. Like you don't like word delete it, scratch it out. That's
all
nice.
right, yo. I'm funny with the writing. Like if you was to read like one of my rhymes and shit, it just looks like a fucking paragraph. It just looks like if you was to read the newspaper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really space that shit out because, you know, it's for me to write. You know what I mean? It's for me to recite. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's good because it's almost like coded because if anyone stole your phone, they couldn't get the flow because all they're seeing is a paragraph.
Yeah,
Only you know that.
You wouldn't even get it.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes that shit it's a double-edged sword.
Because you forget.
Because, sometimes I'll write some shit and then, like, you know, I might forget about it. And then I'll go through the phone and then I'll read the shit like, oh, this is hard. And then I'll be like, damn, I forgot how I even put this shit together. I forgot the flow. I forgot, like, the breakup. You know what I'm saying? So, I have to
chime in
against me.
I have to chime in, guys. Like, Rome, it's an honor to have you here in downtown LA, right here
real.
At the HQ for Underground Hip Hop Blog. But I have to ask you, man, you being from New York, you know, it seems to me that all that dope hip hop, why is it that LA's always the biggest markets? Like, for example, on your Spotify, Los Angeles is your biggest market.
That's true.
Right? We're about to host, if I'm not mistaken, your first official headlining event in LA. Like, you know, coming from your background and the people that you work with, like, is there an answer to that?
I would say right now, LA is my biggest market because I did the album with DJ Muggs.
Shout out to DJ Muggs, Godfather
I did
himself.
Death the Magician with DJ Muggs, the big homie, Soul Assassins, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he comes with a big ass wave, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, he's a tidal wave, he's a monsoon. So, you know, me collaborating with him, it puts me in the world of his tidal wave, you know what I'm saying? So he got a lot of motherfucking pull in LA. So that's one thing that kind of just like boosted my LA fan base was, you know, working with Soul Assassins. You know what I'm saying? And I love it because anytime I ever came to California to perform, that shit was a zoo. So, you know, I love coming to LA. I love the love that I get from LA. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful.
You know, I wanted to ask this. I ask artists from New York this all the time because I'm fascinated. What is the biggest difference between a New York crowd and an LA crowd?
I would say, just from my perspective, right? And just going around doing shows, and maybe it's just because where my popularity is at this particular moment. You know what I'm saying, like, all right, the first time I ever did a show in California, it was in Anaheim.
That's interesting.
Yeah, right. It was
At the Doll Hut.
Yeah, it was in Anaheim, right? And that shit was packed. Like, it was sold out wall to wall. And that was the first time I really ever experienced, like, the whole fucking crowd saying my lyrics. Like, that shit was like the energy I got from that was so crazy. Like, that's something I would never forget, you know what I'm saying? Because, one, it was a place that I'd never been before.
Yeah.
And then, two, it was a sold-out show. And then, three, everybody knew all the fucking words. Like, that shit, like, I had to really, like, just, like, block that out and just, like, perform the song because that shit was just, like, so fire to me. Like, I wanted to stop. Like, oh, shit.
Lost,
like, y'all know all the words. Like, I really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I couldn't say that. Like, I had to just keep going with the shit. But, that was just beautiful. So that's one dope thing that I got from, like, an LA crowd. I haven't really super duper experienced that from a New York crowd, only because, like, I haven't really done a lot of shows in New York recently. You get what I'm saying? Like, one of the last shows I done in New York, it was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people in the crowd knew the words, but I didn't get to really perform for a whole hour like I did in LA. So, I mean, in Cali. So, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy. I love the New York crowd because it's my home crowd, but then I also love, like, the Cali crowd because it's, like, it's brand new. It's a new territory that I've never been before, so it's, like, always a good thing to see, you know what I'm saying, the turnout. Because, like, New York, it's like, okay, I kind of automatically, like, expect, man, people to be there because I know so many people. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't personally know too many people in LA that's going to fill up a whole fucking room. But when they do, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Mad people like me out here.
Yeah, we do. We really do. So, like, okay, that's it for the States. Have you ever performed in London? Have you ever performed out there?
No. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no. All right? Because, like I said, like, I used to live in London when I was a teenager, like, from 14 to 17. Like, right before I turned 18 is when I came back. Right? But, like, I used to rap, you know what I'm saying, when I was that age, when I was younger. So, like, I performed out there just on some, for lack of a better words, like some amateur shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just coming up, trying to get my shit off, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was always, like, used to performing in front of a crowd from back then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I performed out there.
What was
but
that
not
like?
as, like, Rome Streetz, like me, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Just, like, on a come up. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all of that shit is just preparation for these moments right here. Like, I feel like everything I did back then when I was younger up until, like, before my name started to buzz is just all preparation. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like I'm ready for this shit. It's not like nothing is going to overwhelm me. Like, crowds, like, I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the crowd, the more energy I'm gonna have for it. It's not gonna be like, oh my God, I'm nervous. Like, nah, man.
Now you don't get nervous?
I'm ready for this shit. Trust me.
Get nervous?
I did 100 shows before people knew who my name was.
Yeah. People still get nervous though.
So that just goes to show.
True.
That just goes to show how long you've been technically in the underground scene.
Hell yeah.
Because motherfuckers always think you blow up overnight and then you're getting all this clout and then attention and then fools just want to gravitate around these people and, like, little do they know, like, yo, what are you doing, yo?
Well, fools do blow up overnight, but then they also die out quickly, right? And that's what we've seen. When you have the preparation, the hard work, then you can, run the marathon
like
and not the sprint.
Rome, when I listen to your music, I already know you appreciate the growth when it comes to the fan standpoint, because you've been doing it for so long, just, chiseling away. And then now you come to LA or you come to SoCal, everyone knows your rhymes and you're like, was that expected? Were you planning on that? Or was that just?
I wasn't planning on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how this shit is going to turn out. I was just like, working with my head down to the point where it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just put in so much work. I'm gonna just kick so much ass that it's gonna be hard to ignore what I'm doing.
Yep.
And to add on to what you were saying about like blowing up overnight, I can't remember where I heard this quote, but somebody said that it takes 5 years for you to blow up overnight. And then that's some real shit because I've seen it and then I experienced it. Like, think about this, right? Think about, like, for instance, like a Griselda, right? They had a long period of time where they was putting in work and they was out there, you get what I'm saying? Like, doing shit with Alchemist, you know, doing a lot of things that was on a certain level. But I would say at like 2017, that's when they shit really started to go stupid. So like, if you didn't really know about the history and then found out, it would look like they just came out of nowhere and blew up overnight. Like, oh, where the fuck did these guys come from? Why the fuck they changed so big all of a sudden? I don't know who they are, but now they lit. Like, but it was really a long period of time. And then it's like right now with me, I could say I dropped my first like real tape. I've been through mad shit. It's like in 2016. You get what I'm saying? That was like 5 years ago. And I've been putting in mad work since then. But there's motherfuckers now that know me and it'd be like, yo, son, I love your shit. Oh, on West Side Gun shit. And it'd be like, yo, you just came out of nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? I heard you on this West Side Gun shit. I heard you on this Ransom shit. Like, yo, you my favorite new artist. And yes, to y'all, I could be a new artist because you never heard my shit before until I did something with West Side Gun or with Ransom. But my first tape came out 5 years ago, and I've been grinding since then. Yeah, but now today, you probably think, yo, I came out of nowhere, blew up overnight type shit. But nah, it takes some time.
No, that's
like
crazy.
Even Larry June, I was watching some shit. I seen the fucking video on YouTube the other day. Larry June from like 10 years ago. You get what I'm saying? But it's like, look, he put in motherfucking work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He been out for a couple years now, like on a high level, but people would think, yo, he just came out of nowhere and now he's big time Larry June. Like, nah, he put his work in. So it really do take 5 years and maybe more for it to look to the public like, yo, you just came out of nowhere and you popping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes time. It takes time. You just have to be dedicated and you got to believe in yourself. You get what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers give up because they just think, oh, it's gonna happen right away. Like, yo, I've been putting it in for a year. Nobody's is fuck with me the way I want to. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put in those 4 years and 9 months. You understand what I'm saying? Guess what? It might happen for you on the 10th month of that 4th year, but it might, you know what I mean? Some people might give up on that 9th month or the 4th year because like, oh man, it didn't happen for me. But it might just take the one day you feel like quitting is the day where you got to make that move and it's going to take you to the next level. But you got to believe in that shit. With me, I always felt like, you know, I'm good at this shit. I always felt like I was good at this shit. Everywhere I went, the feedback was like, yo, you mad dope. So it's like, yo, I can't be this dope for no reason. If I don't make it to a level where I'm satisfied with this shit, I feel like I wasted my talent because I obviously got something. You know what I'm saying? So just got to keep pushing that shit.
What are some of the critical mistakes, in your opinion, after people feel like, okay, I've put in my time and they're finally starting to gain traction? Like, what is the number one thing not to do that you've seen happen when artists get to that point?
One thing I could say is there's no right or wrong way to do this shit. But I could just tell you some of my mistakes. One mistake that I made is thinking that because I'm good, it's just automatically gonna happen. Like, oh yeah, because I'm good, I'm gonna like get on these platforms, or like, you know, these producers, these artists are gonna fuck with me because I'm nice. Instead of, you know what, I'm gonna put the work in and then get my name up to a level that's respected, that has some equity behind it. I'm gonna invest in myself. Instead of just automatically assuming that's gonna happen, you know what, I'm gonna get my money up, and if it costs this much to do this, I'm gonna pay that. If I gotta, you know what I'm saying, take extra time to do XYZ, I'm gonna do it. instead of just sitting back thinking, okay, everybody knows I'm good, somebody's gonna give me an opportunity. No, you gotta create the opportunity by putting in that motherfucking work. So that's one mistake that people make, just thinking that it's gonna happen instead of like attacking opportunities, going out there and pushing your campaign. You know what I'm saying? Like, you actually gotta push, you actually gotta invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna help you if you don't help yourself.
That is so refreshing to hear, man, because
That's
a lot of
one thing.
motherfuckers out there be making mad excuses, right? I say the same thing, Rome, like, yo, like, if it costs this much for the beat, why don't you just pay for the beat instead of fucking bitching and complaining and not having and being broke all day?
That's it. Hey, yo, one thing, right? And this is another thing. Sometimes, all right, as an artist, you can never get comfortable. You get what I'm
that's
saying?
facts, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just for instance, the first time I did a song with West Side Gun and shit, I wasn't signed to Griselda, but what got me like to go from just doing a feature to actually like getting signed with them was the fact that that first time I did that feature, I didn't think that I beat the game. It wasn't like, all right, cool, like I got on the track of West Side Gun, like I did it, like now everything is lit. Like, no, I had to like use that and then create something larger. It's like, now I got that look, everybody look at me, what I'm gonna do next? You get what I'm saying? I gotta keep working. It's not over. Now that I have this little look, I got them. It's not even a little look. I shouldn't even say that. Now that I have this look, I gotta capitalize on this situation to take it to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? I can't just, okay, now I got it, look at me. No, I gotta keep going. I gotta work 10 times harder now. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what also got me to this point, was like using opportunities and then like catapulting off of them shits. You get what I'm saying? Like, keep going. It's not over. Just because you got, you know what I mean, you achieved something that you wanted to achieve, don't think that it's over. Like, you can go 10 times harder after that and achieve something greater. You get what I'm saying? So that's something that I feel like people should know, and that's also a mistake that people make by thinking that, you know, you had like a achievement, you achieved it, and then you beat the game. Like,
Right.
Nah, the game is not over.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to add this, like, and I'm assuming it wasn't like you were mad thirsty to collab with West Side or cats from
Yeah,
Griselda.
it takes like
compared
a
to other dudes,
maturity.
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, I never asked them. They asked me.
Absolutely.
You get
They
what I'm
come to
saying?
you.
Like, yeah. Because you know what it is? Sometimes I like things to be organic. You get what I'm saying? Because one thing about it is this, right? Just because, like, you can meet an artist that's on a bigger platform than you, right? Just because you say you want to feature with them and you might have the bread, that doesn't mean you're always going to get it, because that artist put work in to make their name a certain, like, to have their name be a certain value. And sometimes you can't just buy into the name association. You can't just have bread and be like, you know what, I wanna buy a feature with you. No, like, you can't just buy into it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know what, you know that artist's name is bigger than yours, so you want to do a song with them so their name will make your name larger. That person knows that their name is of value. So therefore, you can't just, like, for lack of a better word, just hold yourself out like that. So at the end of the day, with certain features that I got, it wasn't like, you know, I was just like, you know, yo, we got to do a song. Yo, let's do a song. It was just like, you know, they fucked with me. They fucked with my energy to the point where it's like, you know what, I like you. I want to work with you. It don't even matter that their name was larger than mine. It's like, you know what, I fuck with you enough to put you on my platform. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like me asking. It was more so, you know, they fucked with the energy and it was
Sure.
right. So sometimes you gotta just put your work in and not always be so thirsty for a placement. It will come if it's meant for you. You get what I'm saying? And that's really just how I live my life and how I do my shit. If I'm supposed to work with this person or if we supposed to connect, it's gonna happen.
Wow, Rome Streetz dropping
Yeah,
major
wise words.
bombs.
Come on.
Atomic
Come on,
bombs right here.
exclusive
That's a fact.
on the blog. All right, so yeah, you mentioned a lot of people that you've worked with, and you've also, like you said, you worked with some legendary DJs, and this last, album produced by legendary Rock Marcy, also friend of the blog. What is your favorite thing about working with him?
All right, let me say this, right? You talk about the album with Ransom?
Yes, sir.
Rock Marcy didn't produce on there.
Oh.
Ransom said a line like Rock produced it.
Yeah,
and people think Rock Marcy produced it. No.
Damn.
The line really means like the drug that the girl is on is Rock. And that produced the problem that she currently has.
Have you been
with
asked
me
this before?
And him. No. But I've seen people on Twitter like, saying,
I'm
Rock
glad we
Marcy
cleared
produced
that
the beat. V Don actually made that beat. You know what I'm saying?
V Don.
But
there we go.
To actually like just add on to the question. I have done shit with Rock Marcy.
You have.
It was me and Knowledge the Pirate. We did a joint called Daddy Yankee where and Rock Marcy produced it. One thing I could say about that track in particular, it was dope because for like a day I couldn't figure out how to rap on it. I was like, yo, how the fuck am I even gonna get on this track? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, Rock Marcy produced the beat, and I know people want to hear us do things. So it's like, I gotta slide on this. So I really gotta, take my time and do something fire. Mm-hmm. So that was like one experience I had working with a Rock Marcy track. You know what I'm saying? And me and him have talked about doing shit, you know what I'm saying? So you could look out for things in the future. I've done some shit coming up with Stove God.
Hey, there we go.
With for Rock Marcy.
That's good vibes.
You might see that soon.
I want to take the conversation back to, the legend DJ Muggs himself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you're in your 30s like me, and like I was listening to Cypress Hill when I was like 12.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I always told him that my first experience with Cypress Hills was as a kid, me and my cousin used to watch Juice. That was like our favorite movie and shit. And there was this one part where they was playing Killer Man. I think that's the part where where Bishop tries to shoot Q in the elevator. And like I always just liked the beat. Like that was just a dope ass fucking beat. You know what I'm saying? That shit just always stuck in my head. And I always just liked Cypress Hills just for that. You know what I'm saying? And other things, but that was just one thing that got me into the music. So when I actually got to work with Muggs, I always told him that, like, I've been a fan since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And then one cool thing I want to add about DJ Muggs and just like, how sometimes things come full circle and, if something is meant for you, it's going to happen even if you ain't even trying. So when I was working on the album, I called one of my homies. He's from New York and shit, but he does like photography with a crew. You know what I'm saying? And then they was in LA, so I called him. I'm like, yo, I need you to come and just do some video footage, shoot some content for this album. He's like, yo, he kind of busy. He gonna send one of his boys. I never met his boy, you know what I'm saying? My homie Brandon. He was like, yo, I'm gonna send my homie Brandon to come through. Right? So Brandon comes through. He's at the studio. And he's shooting videos and shit, and then he sees this book. It's like the Soul Assassins book. I don't know if you're familiar with Esteban. He shoots like a lot of video and photos for DJ Muggs.
I'm very familiar. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Brandon sees the book and he's like, oh shit, yo, I fuck with this book. Like my sister bought me this book. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, and that's the shit that got me into photography. And DJ Mugg was like, oh, for real? I gave Esteban his first fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the one who actually brought him on the road and, you know what I'm saying, allowed him to find his purpose. And then he was like, oh, shit, that's crazy. So it was kind of like a full circle moment for him. Like, the book was the thing that got him into photography. And then he came and met me for the first time. And then he actually met DJ Muggs, the person who inspired the person that inspired him. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, if it's for you, it's going to happen.
I bet that was crazy.
You don't have to force that shit.
That's
you know what
crazy.
I'm saying?
Right here, an official soul assassin in the building right here in the
Yeah,
flesh.
hell yeah. And it's crazy because that kind of just like goes into the title of the album with the whole like tarot cards and like just you being put in a position to display all your talents. You get what I'm saying? That's what Deaf and the Magician is about. And then, you know, just with that situation with Brandon, it was like he was put in a position to display his talent in front of the person who inspired the person who inspired him.
That's crazy. It's full
All
circle.
that shit is like really dope.
That's beautiful. Well, you have a new album that just came out, Coup de Grace. For those of us that don't speak French, what does Coup de Grace mean? What does that mean?
It means like the death blow, like a mercy kill. Like, you know, like if it's really like, okay, like when you're hunting and shit, let's say you shoot whatever animal you're hunting and you don't really like kill it the proper way and it's dying and it's suffering, you kind of got to put it out as misery. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that really means in French, like the final kill, to put a suffering target out of its misery.
Ooh, why is
You know what I'm
this?
saying?
Why is this your Coup de Grace?
This is basically just us killing shit. Just, you know, me and Ransom, we've been really going ham these like the last year and a half, I would say. And you know, every time we do a song, people was just like, yo, this shit is crazy. I gotta just do more music together. So this is basically just like the culmination of us both killing the game individually to now coming together to kill it in a collaborative way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you add up all the shit that we've been doing together, the rap game is really fucked up. Like, we really been doing a number on it. It's to the point where it's on its final breath. So now this album is just the last shot to put it out as misery for the year.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn, what was that like working together?
It was dope. It was dope. I would say one interesting fact about this album is that we weren't even in the studio one time.
What?
For this shit.
Where were you?
We wasn't even together. Like, we literally did this
What?
whole album over email.
What?
I
No
was
way.
saying we was together. We went to the studio one time and did one song, and then we never even used it.
What?
Yeah.
How is that like? What is the difference between not being, you know, like with the other person in the studio versus, you know, doing it completely over email? Like, does that change the outcome of the project?
I don't know if it would change the outcome. It just changes the process. Because, like, okay, let's say we in the studio for 2 hours or even 1 hour, right? And we making a song. It literally got to be whatever we put together in that 60 minutes. Whereas if you just email me the track, I got all day to do that shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's like in 60 minutes, I might just put down the first dope thing that comes to my mind while I'm writing. Okay, if I like this line, boom, what am I gonna say next? Until it's done. Whereas if I got all day, I might think about this shit 5 times before I write it down. I feel like it's way more concentrated when I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, there's mad albums that I've made that people's like, oh, this is really crazy. And I did it right there on the spot. Like a lot of West Side Gun, like all the shits that you hear on the West Side Gun albums, I did that shit right there. So it's like, me believing in myself, there's really no difference whether I'm in the studio or not. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, there's a difference because I have all day to think about shit.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
so how do you feel about deadlines? Like, let's say, you know, I sign you to a major record label and I'm like, look, Rome, like, I'm gonna pay you $10 million, but I need you to make your best work in the next 4 months.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. Like, yo, I've done some of my craziest shit in a week. You get what I'm saying? Like, listen, the next time we do an interview, like my next album, when I talk about that, listen. Man, listen. When it comes to deadlines, I have no issue. I promise you, I have no issue. That shit.
It's
hits.
just done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred method? Like, would you rather someone tell you, all right, album next year this time, or take as long as you like?
It doesn't matter really, cause I feel like even if you tell me, yo, I need an album from you this time next year, it's still me taking as long as I like, because it doesn't really take me that long to make something. You get what I'm saying? Like, the longer you tell me I have to do something, the better it's gonna be, because I have more time to concentrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I make my albums, I don't really have no deadline. There's no time limit deadline, but they just end up being done in a really, really quick period of time. You get what I'm saying?
That's interesting. I definitely wouldn't have expected you to say that, because you come out with content so often and so consistently, and it's crazy because I think even though you rap relatively quickly, your flow is slow. It's more relaxed. It rests in confidence. It almost seems like sometimes you are like sitting down, but you're just like, you're focused, but that place where it comes from is like, you've just been doing this for so long. It's kind of, it's, you know, it's just routine. What do you think? Like, where do you think that,
I could say I've been doing it for a while. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I had a long time to kind of perfect this shit, to kind of like be good at it.
Yeah.
To find like how I wanted to sound and how I wanted to come off. Like, I had a good amount of time to figure that out. So right now, like, I would say I'm really confident in the way I do this, because I've been doing it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I had a long time to practice.
For sure, it definitely translates. Like, so what is your mood when you sit down and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give this my best effort? Are you angry? Are you tense? Are you relaxed? Are you focused? Are you like tired? Like, what is your mood when you go into working?
It's really just like, you know what? I'm gonna kill this shit, because as of today, I know the platform that I have. I know that I have like a wide reach. So at the end of the day, it's like, I'm hype. I'm excited, because this is something that I always wanted to do. And now I have the opportunity to do it. So at the end of the day, I'm energized. And even if I am tired, I'm gonna tell you another story. That Eddie Kingston track that I got with West Side Gun, I actually did that tired. Like, I was at home, and one of my friends was at my crib, and we were just smoking, you know what I mean, just watching shit on TV, and I fell asleep. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm about to go home." I'm like, "All right." Okay, I'm about to go to sleep. And it was like 2 a.m. And like, as soon as he walked out the door, I got a text from West Side Gun. It was the track, like, "Yo, I need this shit. How soon can you do this?" You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about to drop this shit in like a couple days. I need you to get this to me ASAP. I'm like, shit, all right. Fuck. I'm going to do this shit right now. And then I did that shit right then and there. And then, you know, that's what came out.
Yeah.
And it was probably like one of the craziest verses I did this whole year. So I was tired.
Yeah.
But, you know, I knew where it was going. I knew that it was going to be something. You know what I'm saying? I knew that it was going to be something that the whole world was going to hear. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this shit right now just to show him that I'm always on go. It don't matter what time you send this shit. Don't matter if I'm half asleep. I'ma still fuck that shit up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite songs off your new album, Claudine. That was such a story, beautifully written, beautifully told. I want to know, when you do stuff like that, and it's in such deep narrative. Do you find yourself going back to that time in your life, like remembering, okay, that might not be a specific story, but that, you know, meeting people, you know, in the streets from that life, like when you write those sort of things, is it from a bird's eye view or are you there experiencing it?
A story like that, it has some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? It has, because, you know, I've lived that life where, you know, I've dealt with those type of people. Mm-hmm. I haven't necessarily been in that position, like exactly how the story plays out. But, you know, it does come from a lot of life experience and just knowing how interacting with those type of characters will make you think, will make you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like the intimate, like certain things that I said in that rap, you kind of wouldn't know unless you actually did the shit. You get what I'm saying? So a song like that, yeah, it comes from personal experience, but it's also imagination because I obviously never like killed no chick. You know
sure.
what I'm saying? But you know, I know how that life is. So like a song like that, yeah, it's both.
Yeah. There's a lot of heart on this album, and I was like happily surprised. And so when you're writing, like, do you ever have a moment when emotionally it gets difficult for you to write, or because you're a well-seasoned artist, it's just another day at work?
I would say if I'm writing and it takes me to, let's say, an emotional place, I kind of just go with it. It doesn't make me like stop or, you know, or this shit is too crazy for me to write down. I shouldn't say this. I kind of like embrace that because with me, when I write a song, I never know where that shit is going. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, like a song like Claudine, really? I kind of like, we had a topic, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. But any other song that I make, it's never planned out. Like, I never know, okay, this how I'm going to start it, this is where I'm going to end it. I'm kind of just unlocking new things while I'm making it. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? I'm kind of just like amazing myself. Like, oh shit, I said this. It's kind of just like a puzzle, but I don't know where the next piece is at. Mm. And then once I find the next piece, it's like, oh shit, this fits perfect right here. Boom. Hey. Then what I'm gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just comes out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's awesome.
It just comes out.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's a really difficult way of writing. I can't believe you write like that. Most people, like, they set out with a plan from A to Z. They're like, this is how I'm going to get there. That's crazy. I'm going to say. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I might have, like, a line or two, like, to go back on what I said earlier. Like, if I just think of something dope, I'll write it down.
But you have so many albums that have specific themes, like, but you never planned that. It just sort of, like...
It comes out. Like, okay, like... For like an album like Street Pharmacy, I didn't plan it to like, I didn't start off like, you know what, I'm gonna make it like this. But eventually, like, okay, once I have a couple songs, it's like, okay, how am I gonna tie this all together to make everything cohesive? Like, okay, I got something here. I got something that could be, I mean, I have something to work on. How can these next round of songs that I make tie into these? And then, you know, I'll get creative in it and then, you know, deliberately, you know, combine shit. But, like, certain songs that I have that are stories, I never really just, like, started this shit like, okay, this is going to be a story. I'll just write a couple lines and then see where it takes me, and then it'll just morph into, like, you know what? I got something here. Let me just keep going in this direction.
Yeah.
I never, like, start off with a topic.
That's crazy. I feel like that almost adds to your name. Like Rome Streetz, you just roam through different topics and then kind of just find your way. And like sticking with the French theme, I wanted to ask you, have you heard about what a flaneur is? It's a French term.
Nah, never heard it before.
Okay. Yeah. Flaneur is the French term for, I have the definition right here, but I feel like this is so you. Okay. It's an ambivalent figure of affluence representing the ability to wander detached from society with no other purpose than to be an acute observer of industrialized contemporary life.
That's fire.
Dude, that's you.
I
That's
feel like
literally
that's me.
Like the definition of flaneur, like when you translate that into English, it's a person who roams through the streets. I'm dead ass right now. Like I'm dead ass. Like I learned that in school. So like when I first found you like a year and a half ago, I was like, I wonder if he got his name from that, because that's like exactly who you are in like every single way.
The crazy thing about how I got my name is I didn't actually make my name up. Like one of my friends just like was like, yo, your name should be Rome Streetz. I'm like, what?
Damn.
He was like, yo, your name should be Rome Streetz. And at first I'm like, I ain't even get this shit. And then, you know, like later on, because the thing is, Rome is like my real name. Like my mom calls me Rome. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my name for real. Like before all the rap shit, like people call me Rome. You know what I'm saying? So then at first I'm like, yo, I didn't get it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, Rome Streetz. Oh, that shit is fire.
With the Z.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is, like, during that time, everywhere I go, I would see the name. Like, yo, I swear to God, one day I just ended up on Rome Street. And my friend was like, yo, look at the sign. I'm like, what's it? Yo, Rome Street. I was like, oh, shit. Rome Street. I was like, yo. And then, like, one time I was in a city, like, in Manhattan on like 14th Street. So I'm walking down there, boom, boom, boom. I was roaming streets, and then a fucking van was just like stopped on the corner, and it said "Roam the streets of New York." I'm like, yo, this shit is real. This Rome Street shit is real, son. Like, you know what I mean? And then it just been that ever since. So like that flaneur shit, that's me.
You.
That's me.
Walking detached from society, observing.
Because I be in my own world. And then, you know, my music comes from an observation and then also, you know, a firsthand experience. But then, like, my inspiration comes from just observing shit. Like, you know, I did an interview one time and I was just talking about how, like, you know, riding the train, like, sparked some of my best rhymes, some of my best songs. You know what I'm saying? It's just because, you know, like living in New York, you see everything. Like you'll see a fucking homeless person and a millionaire in the same eye shot. You get what I'm saying? Like you see the projects and like a $5,000 condo on the same block. So really you get to see like the lowest form and the highest side of life in one thing. You know what I'm saying? So you, like I always say, like living in New York and even just like in LA, you know what I'm saying? You being downtown, you know, you might see a bunch of tents, but then you'll fucking see a Ferrari drive right by. So you, like in one eye view, you get to see what you want to be and what you don't want to be. You get to see you get to see what life could be like on the highest form and what it's like on the lowest form. So therefore, just that thing should just inspire you to always be great. You know, I'd rather be in the Ferrari than in the tent. So what the fuck can I do to get in the Ferrari and stay there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the observation is always going to inspire me. Things that I see in my everyday life, my old life, and my new life, and my present life, it's always going to inspire me. So that definition is really me.
Yeah, for real. You have such an eclectic experience and such a unique one at that. You know, growing up in London and out here in New York, seeing everything that you've had to see. We thank you so much for continuing to put out great music, keeping the underground alive, keeping hip hop alive. This has been such an amazing thing to have you here. I know I've talked to you a few times, but you know, being able to sit down and hear you out is awesome, and it made my week for sure. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in live with Rome Streetz, undergroundhiphopblog.com. Make sure to follow us on all the socials. Go ahead and shout out all your socials one time.
You already know it's Rome Streetz. Follow me on Rome Streetz. Follow me on Instagram at Rome Streetz. You know what I'm saying? ROMESTREETZ. On Twitter, Rome_Streetz. YouTube. You can find your number. You can find my number in your girl's phone somewhere. She called me
top.
once in her life.
Speed dial.
It's there. I'm in her close friend somewhere.
So I have one more question I want to squeeze in.
Yep.
You know, since we are in Underground Hip Hop Blog and we're the largest searched platform when you type in these keywords called Underground Hip Hop. You know, to a lot of people, those keywords mean a lot to them. Yeah. And as you know, Rome, you know, there's a lot of underground heads that value that keyword, right? There's a certain pocket of MCs that people think of like that's underground. So like
it's levels to this underground shit though.
So what's your definition of underground though? So if a kid comes up to you like, yo, what is underground hip hop? What are you gonna tell the kid?
I asked you this last time. You gave such a good definition. I wish
underground hip hop is just some shit that's not mainstream. It's just, you know, the artist that's, I don't like to say on the come up, but it's like, you know, the artist that isn't like infected with the mainstream ideologies of music, because sometimes that strips away the purity of it. You get what I'm saying? Like, put it like this. You could be a motherfucker who's creating music and then you don't have no restrictions. Like, sometimes when you're trying to create a mainstream song, it's like, oh, I can't say this. I can't say it like this. Or the song gotta have this. Whereas if you're just creating from a pure place, you're not thinking of that. So I feel like that's the difference between underground and a mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Underground and mainstream music. It's like underground music kind of has a level of purity that mainstream music doesn't have. You get what I'm saying? Like, mainstream has a lot of motherfucking... has like a lot of restrictions. It's a lot of fucking spider webs on that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love
a good
your
definition.
I love your definition. Like, you know, you're basically saying that artists emulate one another.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to, I don't know how mainstream radio is over here, or like, all right, put it like this. This is kind of a thing, right? And I love Rolling Loud, right? But I was there the other day, right? And, you know, we just mingling through the crowd or backstage, just chopping up with people and shit for a couple hours. And then me and a couple people was just like, yo, son, why does it sound like it's been the same fucking song playing the whole time? You get what I'm saying?
Show.
And it's like, even though it's mad different artists that went on the stage, it just sounded like they was all performing over the same beat. You get what I'm saying?
They might be.
And
I'm sure that was aching you, right?
Even though the beat is different, it all has the same similarity, the same drum, the same tempo, the same... It's like the same fucking hi-hat.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's like mainstream music. That's the fucking sound that you might have to make to get your shit played on a certain platform. You don't necessarily have to, because, look, Griselda was headlining and they shit don't sound nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that type of music, but it's like when you try to be mainstream, it kind of like tricks you to feel like you have to make a certain type of sound when you don't have to.
I like that you use the word tricked.
You get what I'm saying?
I like that.
It's true.
You get bamboozled.
Yeah, it's true. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, that's the difference. I feel like, you know, an artist that's underground is just gonna make whatever the fuck they want to make. They don't care who thinks that they have to do it like this in order to get a certain place. Whereas mainstream, they doing it like this and like that and like this to reach a certain place. And even if it don't, there's a million fucking artists that ain't never getting there, but they trying to emulate what they hear on the top 40. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of them top 40 shits got there because they didn't give a fuck. They just made whatever the fuck they want to make.
Absolutely. I think that's
a great closeout statement right there.
Yeah, it is. Perfect
Legendary.
statement. I like what you said about like tricking artists, because there's other avenues, right? Like you were saying, there's no wrong way to do this shit. So we really appreciate you coming on, giving us a lot of knowledge, giving us a lot of advice. And, you know, for anyone out there, like this is so much game to watch in one interview. So again, thank you to Rome Streetz for coming on Underground Hip Hop Blog. We will see you all in the next one.
You already know.
And before we go, right, we do have a show coming up.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Yes.
Right here, Rome. Go ahead and show that off right there. Look at this is LA, guys.
Hey.
Listen, December 4th. LA.
Yo.
You guys have to turn out. You guys have to come out.
Streets.
Come on.
Get your fake vaccine cards, right?
4067 West Pico Boulevard. Catch one. Make sure you there. Be there or be fucking square, man.
Come on.
Make sure you bring your fucking grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle, your sister,
Your nieces.
your girlfriend, your side girl, your wife, her brother, everybody. Rome Streetz about to fuck this shit up in LA for the first time ever.
Woo.
Like I see a comment say, who is this guy? You gotta fucking
Come
tune
find
in.
out.
Listen,
Come
find out. Find out.
Let's go.
That being
Man,
said,
make
December
sure your
4th.
ass is there. December 4th, man.
It will sell
it's
out.
Griselda.
Griselda in the
It's
building.
big fucking
Hey.
Griselda, man.
Okay.
Bad influence.
Any special guests you're going to be bringing out, or is that going to be a secret?
Listen,
Yeah,
I
keep
know
it
a lot of people,
Keep
man.
it a secret, yeah.
I
Keep
know
them
a lot
interested.
of people, man. Bring your ski mask, man. Bring your, and we gonna be passing around a collection plate, man. Drop some shit up in there, man.
Let's go. The exclusive
Pay homage,
UGHH.
man.
We out.
Much love to Underground Hip Hop Blog.